So I got home yesterday after a long, really tiring day of work and realized that my SD card broke. So I'm kind of dropping you in the middle of what I've been doing the last couple days, but I think it'll be all right. Right now I'm putting in some docks to kind of make it a little bit more into the theme of like the bogland, like docks area. I'm using these little logs from the dollar store. So they're nothing special. You could probably just use sticks, but I got these for Christmas, so I 3D modeled and 3D printed some walkways. I think that's gonna work pretty good. The tricky part with making Mordheim boards is making them feel different. My urge in most cases is just to add a bunch of scaffolding everywhere, and that would work. And I might still do that. Adding different ways to be vertical is important. I'm building this because I have like 20 or so people coming to a Mordheim event that I'm hosting at my house, and I want these boards to feel different. This might not apply to most of you, but it matters to me, and so that's kind of why I'm doing it this weird way. I kind of like being like kind of having to work around and fit my hand somewhere and like look at a detail that maybe no one's seen before. And yes, it's inconvenient, but exploring Mordheim is inconvenient. But I kind of like that it's inconvenient because that's how Mordheim is. That's something I'm keeping in mind while building this. Is I like you to kind of drop down and look at it. Put a model in there and maybe I'll lose it forever, but I might forget about it. But you know what? If you lose a model in here, your warband loses their, like, a miniature in Mordheim. What's more Mordheim than that? That's just something I've been thinking about when making terrain. I really like that it's cramped and that you really have to, like, weasel your way in. I think it adds character to it. So I decided that I was gonna put some more houses in here. I found this house that like fit perfectly inside here. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I also 3D printed some terrain here, and we're gonna mount this on this side. Ooh. On the side with the shipwreck, I thought to kind of finish up the illusion, I'd print a shipwreck, and I'm not sure it's great, but I think it'll kind of get the job done. It could be better, honestly. Bigger, maybe. But I think it'll be fine. With a little bit of texture. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I wanted to also put in like a support here to make it look like they wanted it to be here. And they were like trying to keep it in one piece, and then it like fell over or something. Yeah. Let's do one more. Like, for me, it helps when I'm stuck to do something I know I'm good at. So I think finishing off this building real quick is gonna do a lot for my morale. You know what, maybe I'll tear apart one of these types of buildings. I got a couple more, and I'll put like corner pieces here. That way it still feels like each section has a building, but they're not gonna take up the whole square. Okay, so the goal is to cover everything with popsicle sticks or balsa wood. This side I haven't done anything with, and foam core is a pretty durable material, but it won't stand the test of time. And this was made out of cardboard, and covering it with popsicle sticks makes it really sturdy. And so giving that outer shell really helps. And I don't find adding a ton of detail in the interiors is worth the effort. Feel free to do that yourself, but I have other things to do, so I typically just don't even bother. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done thatched roofs, so I'm just gonna walk you through it real quick. All you need is some jute rope. This works the best. I'm sure there are other options, but you just cut it into short little wefts. They're probably like a 1/2 inch or so. And then we're gonna hot glue all these on here. I kind of want, because these are like heavily ruined, I want this to look really patchy. I've never tried this before. I don't know if it'll work, but it's the idea I have in my head, so we'll give it a try. And that's your little weft. You're gonna want to work your way up. So I'm just gonna do this small section here. These are like copper wire clippers, so they're not hobby clippers. Okay, so I'm gonna start texturing everything now. I'm running out of time for this week. Tomorrow I have to be able to paint all this, and it's gonna be a lot to paint. I'm adding a texture paste to all the sides of the walls, and I'm just doing that with some PVA glue, paint, and some crushed glass. That's just from the dollar store. I could just get it from my backyard, but then I have to like make sure that there's nothing alive in it and stuff. So it's just kind of easier to just buy it for $1. Yeah. I'm sure eventually I'll revisit this project as I kind of come up with different ideas, but overall I'm so much happier with keeping this on the shelf than keeping a Trench Crusade board on my shelf. So I definitely kind of achieved the goal for this project with you guys. All right. So I gotta be honest with you guys about something. And it hurts to kind of admit it, but I painted it off camera. So I'm gonna bring it out real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, I was on date night with my wife and we were watching Robin Hood, the one with Kevin Costner, and wow, that movie's bad. But I got all this done, and before I knew it, I realized I hadn't filmed any of it. So let me get you some final shots and then I'll leave you there. Make sure you do all the YouTube stuff. There's a hype button, there's a like button, there's a subscribe button. Go figure. Like 70% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed, and because I'm a smaller creator, YouTube will just be like, you don't see my videos anymore. And then people go, man, I thought you stopped YouTube. And that's why you're not seeing videos. So make sure you do that. That way you can follow along. Also, I'm going to Adepticon this year, and that's expensive, so thank you so much to patrons for helping me out. And like this week started with me having a bad SD card, and that was only replaced because of your guys' support. I hope you have a good one.